Morning, campers. I'm going to do a quick vlog about anger and how to deal with anger when you feel attacked by somebody. I have felt angry all day, not helped by Katie from Reach PLC, which is a Sunday Mirror, my old employer, and I used my press pass that I got from them. I was on staff when I worked for them for over 10 years. When I was there, I was asked to do various illegal things. Now, when you're on Fleet Street and you have your place as a journalist, I was a journalist when I worked on Fleet Street. I entered into it thinking I'd enter as a private investigator, but quickly moved to journalist because really they had plenty of private investigators, so they didn't need me for that. They needed me to stand up stories. They needed me for my creativity, which is journalism, and I eventually pushed through and became a journalist myself, getting my byline in the Sunday Times, publishing a bestseller with Hart and Stoughton, then another book with Mainstream on my investigations into serial killers. I am a journalist. I do deserve that name. I do deserve that badge. Graham Johnson has single-handedly called me a blagger because it's derogatory. He gets a high off that. He's a man. He gets a high off. See what I can do. You might have worked years and years and years coming out of a kid's home, living in bed sits, scrabbling up through hard work and suffering and rape by a social worker, sexual abuse by a social worker from my kid's home. I still got through all that, sex abuse from my adoptive father, whippings from my adoptive mother, still struggled through all of that, unlike Fiona Whiteman, still struggled through all of that, an unsupported life, and became a journalist, became a bona fide journalist, put myself in danger with the Real IRA, did what I had to do to wear the badge journalist. Along comes Graham Johnson, doesn't have what I've got, wherever that's positioned, but doesn't have it, is threatened by it, and so has to name call me derogatory names, has to say, oh, you were asked to do this, that, and the other. That's what you were known for. Well, actually, it wasn't what I was known for. I'm known for being a best-selling Sunday Times author. I'm known for going undercover with the Real IRA. I'm known for being the only journalist that interviewed John White after he shot John Gregg and went on the run. That's what I'm known for. And I'm sitting here absolutely boiling because these people win. They're not going to win. I'm going to fight. Actually, Graham Johnson's very threatened by my prowess as a journalist because when he came to the Sunday Mirror, I was working on every single story that went through the news desk. Every single story. That means every single journalist couldn't stand up their stories. The only stories I didn't work on were ones that I deemed illegal. Why should I? I was being given plenty of money. I was also working for the News of the World and the Daily Mail. I was earning 100 grand a year. And I've still got the documentary proof from my top rank accountants that I was earning 100 grand a year. Now, why earning 100 grand a year just using your imagination, becoming a journalist? Would you need to do anything illegal? You don't. And there's nothing wrong with my brain, nothing wrong with my IQ. And I've got a healthy little bum that twitches at the idea of being nicked, at the idea of being in a prison with loads and loads of women. I know how bitchy and nasty women can get. I really don't want to be locked up with loads of them. I really don't think I could handle that for longer than 5 minutes. So I don't do anything wrong in life. My little bum starts wiggling with the idea of anything wrong. yeah, with the idea of being locked up with loads and loads of women with no man around to dilute the bitching energy. So that's where I am. But along comes a woman who's a housewife, one actress, one housewife who hasn't lived the life I have, who hasn't have to had a pair of balls. They've had men supporting them, never really gone out there in the world, doesn't know really what the world is like or how you have to get by sometimes, has lived a totally different life than I have lived, doesn't really know that they're born or they're alive. And they feel free when they want money. Yeah, they don't think, oh, I know I'll have to do without a couple of million in my bank account's enough. No, they believe that they deserve and deserve and deserve and deserve and deserve off the universe, entitled to more money whenever they feel like it. And if it means wiping on another woman who's gone out there, then who cares? What the hell? Hey, that doesn't matter. They've not got money. They've not played the game I've played. I'm up here on this pedestal. Yeah, they're down there. Men haven't really liked them, so I'll treat them like shit as well. When you're a woman, you have a choice. You can either be victim, if you're working class, you can either be victim or you can be villain. This is a choice for you. And other women make sure you're pushed into that space. Other women that have been pampered in life and don't have to go out there and fight in the jungle, they'll help with that labeling. I've just spent the morning talking to Katie from the Sunday Mirror. Katie from the Sunday Mirror, what I'm saying, I'm so curious about this evidence that I rang Fiona Whiteman, whatever the hell her name is. I've never heard of her before. That I rang up her vagina doctor. I wouldn't do that in a million years. It's got bad karma completely attached. You do something like that, you completely get it yourself. I know that completely. I'm a very spiritual person. But no, because she decided that I did that, I'm guessing based on Greg Miskew's horseshit. Greg Miskew, I grassed him up to Operation Wheating. I don't know why I did that. It might be because I was a journalist on the News of the World. He decided with Phil Hall that I would have to leave the office. And I'm not sure whether it's because of Tyrannia Taurus, but I thought, well, you know what? You started phone hacking. There's something disgusting about it. I keep my own counsel. I'm not someone that can be labelled. I'm not a run-of-the-mill private investigator. I use my sixth sense. I can solve blackmail cases just by reading the person that's carrying it out, by listening to them. I can ask my spirit guides how to do this, that and the other. Then when I go to sleep, I don't know how to solve an investigation. When I wake up, I know what to say, what to do, how to find out. It's called Humid. I'm really good at it. It really puts some male journal, because it's not really private investigations, it's more investigative journalism. It really put some male private investigators' nose out of the motherfucker joint. It went right out of that joint, I can tell you. They really seriously didn't like it. Really seriously. Mummy and Daddy had told them how special they were. They'd got their little degree. They'd be told how special they really were. Got onto Fleet Street and there was I without my degree and working class. And what the fuck, who is she? And I'm a woman. Whoa, that makes it even worse. What is some bitch doing crowing over us? How come we can't get our stories and that bitch can? And after all, she's a bitch. So what's going on? And I tell you, the most person that didn't like it was Graham Johnson. He absolutely did not like that. And what does he do? 20 years later, he seizes his opportunity. I know, I'll make sure that all my mates on the different outlets call her a blagger. Not a journalist, which I fucking was. No, a fucking blagger. I'll do that and I'll crush her into the earth. And if she feels suicidal about it, I don't care, because that's a fucking bitch. And I hate women. I need them. I fucking need them. But I fucking hate them. So that's what's going on there. But I'll tell you a little bit, Graham. I'll tell you a little bit about me, shall I? I see people coming, yeah? And sometimes I'll be sitting with them eating cake in Kew Gardens and I think, something about you, you don't like me, you want to fuck me over really bad. Well, you know what? I'm going to fuck you over first. So you tell them a load of horse shit and you think, I wonder where this is going to lead. Because you know what you've just got off me, it's not actually true, love. I'm just using that to see where the ball will go. Now, I can do this according to Michael Gillard. It's the wrong thing to do. And oh, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't tell James Hanning horseshit. Well, why can't I? Why can't I? Why can't I defend myself against men? Why can't I say to myself, why are you being so friendly to me? It's funny, nobody else is friendly to me. Men don't actually even fucking like me. I wouldn't say women like me very much either. So why are you being so motherfucker friendly? I know, I think I'll tell you a load of horseshit and I'll see where that little ball runs, yeah? I'll see where it runs. Oops, it's run right to the BBC. And the BBC have got me down right in the woods of Richmond Park and they're saying, Lily fucking Allen. They're saying that name. Well, hey, Lily Allen just came out of my imagination. So where did you get it from? Well, you must have got it from James Hanning. And that's the way I found out, and I do find out, who's pulling my pisser. And if I want to do that, it's called an operation, which many investigators do. Try and see what's happening. What are people trying to do with you? What do they want from you? Are they going to have you say stuff to them and then say, I investigated and I found that out, and then shove you over, go running off to their mates like Dominic or little Shawnee boy or little David or little Tom and say, oh, say this, I investigated her, she's just that, she's shit on the street. Oh, she didn't tell us that, she wasn't helping us. I found that out. I'm top dog investigator after all those years ago on the Sunday Mirror, my nose was back at a joint. Well, my nose is firmly right in its place now because I've shat all over you. I've shat all over you so much you'll never get a fucking job ever again because people think you're the kind of little snidey little turd to ring up Sienna Miller's GP to find out if she was pregnant. Nope, it was Lloyd from TDI using Susie. That's where you get a silly bitch's voice doing it. Why wasn't it taped? Why wasn't it reported to the police who can trace calls? It's a crime, yeah? It's a crime. I now have it from 2 recorded sources that it was Lloyd from TDI using Susie, yeah? But that's just been wiped on me. I'd never do something as crass as that in my born days. Why? Because it's illegal. Why? Because once they print in the press, the victim, Sienna Miller, is allowed to get, David Sherbel, to ring up the whoever it is and say, or the son, and say, how did you find that out? And then the son have to tell them. I knew that when I was 19 years of age. When I said to Barry Trigg, well, we should work for the press, that'd be fun. And he went, no, it's what they do with what we dig up for them. You get fucked. And I said, oh, really? Or do you think, Graham, that I said to Barry, you don't know shit, Barry. No, I listened to that. And when I worked on Fleet Street, after I was the girlfriend of Phil Hall, when I came into Fleet Street, I bore that in mind. Because I'd also worked for Stuart Withers for many, many years. And Stuart was stuffed by the media as well, who hired him and then wrote a story about him. And when I told Bob from Cara 2, I'm going to work for the press, he begged me, nearly in tears, this old man, and said, please don't, Christine, they will fuck you. And I said, no, they won't. You know why? I will never do anything illegal for them. Yeah? That's what I vowed when I went into Fleet Street. All these little boys in here, they're going to try and get me to do all sorts of things that are illegal. It's called data theft. And I thought, oh, little boys, I'm not going to do it. And so I didn't do it. But sometimes the naughty little boys become news editors. Excuse me 1 minute. The naughty little boys become news editors. And then they say, "Oh, Christine, we know you love doing investigative journalism, but we'd rather you did this. And we know it's snidey and dirty and it's illegal, but you know what? If you don't do it, we'll tell you to fuck off." And what do I do at this point? Well, I tell you what I do. I've got a real bad temper. So firstly I go, okay. And I put the phone down. I pace up and down my flat, don't I? I pace up and down. I think, you fucking cunt, is what I think. And then my second thought is, I'm going to fuck you, is my third fucking thought. And what? Then, Graham, do you really think? I thought, okay, I'll do whatever you want me to do. If you want me to risk breaking the law, okay, I'll do it, because I'm just working class and you're middle class and you're a man, so you can tell me whatever you want to do and I'll do. No, I didn't think that. I thought, you snidey little cunt, is what I thought. And I thought, you're going to ask me to do something illegal? You're going to tell me to do something that will end me in a fucking place where there's just loads of women and no men? And I'm going to freak out because I don't really like women that much. Well, hell no. Hell no. So what do you think I did? Let's have a pause and let's think about what I did. I thought to myself, you're asking me to do something highly illegal. It's 10 years in Nick if you get found out for doing it. So what do you think I did for my couple of 100 notes? Oh yeah, I pretended to do it. And you know what? What I really enjoyed about those cows cunts who tried to get me nicked by asking me to do illegal, no, threatening me to do, no, bullying me to do illegal things. You know what I like best out of what I decided to do? You know what? Because there's no way I was going to say, well, I tell you what, boys, I'll leave and I'll leave my position in Fleet Street. Let's think about what I'd been through. Raped by a social worker, as I vomited, abused by my father, living in bedsitters, having nobody, coming out of care, climbing my way up, being a story myself, a lot worse than someone putting you on the front page for being pregnant. I was accused of being a serial killer's daughter. Yeah, try washing clean of that. I never married because of that, but never mind. And then moving up to not wanting to lose my place in Fleet Street, because I thought, I've been through hell. I've been through rape and abuse by men, but I've climbed up. I'm in their world now, and I'm a journalist. I'm a somebody. Normally something only middle class people with mummy and daddy can get to do. I'm one. I'm a journalist. Even though I had to sleep with the second in command of Real IRA to get stories, even though I had to become a stripper for the News of the World, even though I had to get in a car with a serial killer rapist for the News of the World, even though I nearly got stabbed with a machete by the News of the World because Mazza made me do a job that was highly dangerous and I thought it was absolutely terrifying, but no, he pushed me and said my instincts are wrong. Even though I had to do all of those things, I deserve to be called a journalist, or at the very least call me private investigator. But you don't get to fucking call me a dirty little name as if I'm somebody that's never fucking done anything in their lives or ever written or put myself out there. Least of all, people that I sat there and tried to help. Yes, you, Hacktoff, and Graham fucking Johnson and Evan Harris. Why did you buy me why did you rent me a flat in Riverside with a boat if I wasn't helping you? Well, this is what people get when they help you. They get accused of things they haven't done. If I'd done anything illegal, how could I help you? How could I? How could I? If I'd done something criminal, how could I help you? Because I'd get carted off to, oh yeah, the scenario with all the women. But not just that. Not just that I don't like being alone with a load of bloody women. My son would get put in care at that point because he was 12 when you people came around, sniffing around me, wanting to turn me over. Well, you've done a really good job. You've squashed me, you've flattened me, you've fucked me. You've accused me of doing something Lloyd did, and you know full well Gavin Burrows has told me that you said, Graham Johnson, to him, that you said, don't worry, Lloyd, I'll keep you out of it, mate. Yeah, so he's a protected species. He's a man. So, yeah, it doesn't matter, but he raped Sienna Miller by ringing her GP. She doesn't know about it either, so you've abused her. She doesn't know about it. She came out of court, yeah, I'm the big shot now, I've won. When you people were all laughing at her, right? You were laughing because it was Lloyd, yeah? And apparently he's Rebecca Brooks's greatest pal. So you were laughing at her, yeah? One sec. And next step, you think, I know, we'll smear Christine now for that. She's going to get really upset because she helped us. And I got documentary proof recorded. Gavin Burrows isn't the only one who records conversations. I was recording. Sylvia Jones told me to. I recorded Evan. I recorded you, Graham. I recorded it all. It's all there. And it's not at my place. So don't do the burglary again. Anyway, going back to helping people. I couldn't, if I'd have done any data thieving, I couldn't have helped these people. Do you see? My son would have been left in care. I grew up in care. Boys are raped, okay? If they're in any way pretty, my son's pretty, he would have been buggered, okay? He'd have been raped. I still know a boy who was raped in care. He told me about it. I tried to organise all the boys from the boys' den. I got them all together. So you're going to let this go on? I said, you go down there at night, you get that motherfucker, you make him leave, yeah? He's not worthy of being a social worker. He's going to prey on boys. I made them do it. They refused to do it. They bottled out. I said, right, I'll go down there. I went down there on my own. I said, you're out as a social worker. We'll grass you up for what you did. You leave now, and we never see you. And anyway, the guy left. We knew, reporting it to the police, that he'd raped this boy. Wouldn't have got us anywhere. And he's still suicidal. He's still suicidal. I think it does something. You know, women can take being raped. I can take being raped. We're stronger than men. But when men are raped, it does something to them. It destroys them. They can't walk on. I know that. They can't walk on. Anyway, sorry. Going back to Graham Johnson and what they've done to me. They knew that I would be mentally destroyed by being accused of Sienna Miller thing when I hadn't done it. And they just rock and rolled, knowing that Lloyd had done it, using Susie as was the girl's voice, yada yada. As if, firstly, I wasn't the only one asked to do that on Fleet Street. If you look in the back of Nick Davies' book, there's a list of private investigators, what they were asked to do and what they weren't asked to do. Look what it says next to my name. Look what it says to a few other people's names. One of them's a woman, Rachel. Why was I kicked out of the Sunday Mirror in 2001? Or maybe it was early 2002. But as soon as Tina Weaver came in, I was asked to go. We'd both slept with the same man, and he preferred me, Phil Hall. So she just, I was gone. Well, how come if I was so important? Huh? How come? Ooh. Well, I wasn't important, is why. Going back to, yeah, they ask you to do, I'm sure they ask everybody to do illegal stuff. They're just homing in on me because Graham Johnson thinks, oh, we've got a victim. He's right. He's right. He has got a victim. He has got a victim. You've got a victim, Graham. Well done. But I'm going to fight. I'm going to keep fighting. And you know what? You know what? You suckered me right at the start. You did. You suckered me. I was too busy defending myself to really realise what you were playing. And you told me about Hugh Grant wanting to destroy the Mail. And, you know, I hated the Mail because I'd worked for them for over 10 years and had pride in it because they weren't like the rest of them. I was never threatened. I was never asked to do anything illegal. Never threatened in any way. I was threatened so much by the by the men on the tower. Oh man, it was unbelievable. I remember coming back from Ealing. There was the Ealing pub bombing, and the News of the World sent me out to Dundalk. That's a dangerous place to go after London's been bombed. To go to the Real IRA, tell us about it, why are you doing it, yada yada. I got an interview with them. I was terrified. I had to walk in the Emerald Bar. I actually, one time when I had to meet one of them, be taken from Dublin Airport down into Dundalk. Why I'd arranged to do that and not got the bloody bus, I don't know. I mean, there was many, many times going there, many, many times. I went there nearly every weekend. And I came back, I'd done the story. I got last billing in the story, which was quite annoying. It was my story. And Peter Rose had got first billing because he's a man. One sec. And yeah, I got last billing, though I was the one that was down in Dundalk getting the business. But yeah, the men were too cowardly to come with me. I remember correcting a guy who worked for the Times out in Northern Ireland. He wrote a story on the Campbells, who were part of the Real IRA. And I said, oh, you got that wrong. I said, why don't you come down with me? I'll introduce you. He freaked out. And I thought, oh, you're too scared. And it is scary. Of course it's scary. I remember, so I was waiting for this commander at the airport. I shit myself. No, I shit myself. I was that scared. It is scary. There's no way it's not scary. They think for some reason I wasn't scared. Oh, I was a dumbass. That I wasn't scared. I was just too dumb to be scared. I shit myself. I don't know if any of my listeners have actually done that and how it feels. It feels really weird. It feels weird. It feels very warm and kind of nice, but you're like, oh, Jesus. And then I went running off with my little legs together in the toilet, took my trousers off, took my underpants off, thought, well, they're done, cleaned myself up, had the trousers on, went out again. This guy was late. I rang Clive Goodman of the News of the World and said, can you spot me? Spotting means if I don't call you back in a few hours, you have to call the police. He didn't even do it. I mean, I forgot to bloody call him at the end of the day, and he didn't do anything. And I said to him, did you actually spot me that day? And he went, oh, sorry, Chris, I forgot I went out for a gin. I mean, it's just bullshit, these people. They don't really give a shit about you. All due respect to Clive, I liked him. He was a kind man. Going back to, I guess you just forgot, but it disappointed me a little bit. So there I was with my trousers, and I shit myself again. I had to go back in the toilet, clean off again, and go and buy a skirt in the airport, which is all very bizarre because they didn't really have skirts. They had a shawl that I had to make into a skirt. It was bizarre. Then I thought, well, I brought a toilet roll in the bag. I thought, if it happens again, I've got, at least it's just a skirt and I can just move to one side and clean myself off. I made sure I was like more or less emptied out. I was scared to even take a sip of water. The guy came, one of the commanders, I got in the car with him, and he shot off. Literally, the car shot off, and it went really fast down a dark country lane. And the more I went down into the depths of what I felt were the depths of South Armagh, the more scared I got. I mean, I'd read the books, The Dirty War, about sitting on a cooker, and they torture anybody. I mean, I don't like pain. Sitting on a cooker, cow prods, they just do it. They just torture. And I just thought, and this is what I'd been over there before. I'd been taken to safe houses before. This is, I wasn't newbie going over there. But each time scares you. Each time you think, is this a time when they get really paranoid? You know, this was about my, I don't know, 50th time there. But, and I knew the guy who was collecting me. Doesn't mean you don't have fear, because they're very paranoid. So it's like being with somebody who's paranoid. They can turn at any time. And I'm aware of that just by the way they are. And so I was in the car and I just panicked. I just thought, oh, Jesus Christ. And I went and leant for the door to put it. I just thought, I'm going to throw myself out, fuck this. And I went to open it and it was locked, wasn't it? And he went, what do you think you're doing? And I said, I don't feel very well, actually. And he said, you're panicking. Imagine someone saying that, you panicking when you're panicking. I mean, what was I supposed to say? No, I'm not panicking. I'm fine. So I said, well, yeah, why? I just feel a bit sick. It's just you're driving really fast. You're driving me into darkness. And I said, I don't feel very well. And he said, we're more likely to think you're MI5 or something like that if you panic. Oh, God. And what are you supposed to do with that? I mean, what are you supposed to do with that information? So I panicked even more. And I remember my little legs were kicking against the frigging front board of the car, the dashboard. Oh, God, it was horrific, actually. And he was like, do you want to calm down? And I managed to convince him to take me to a nearby pub. I said, I just feel a bit weirded out. I said, could I have a drink? Anyway, he took me to a pub. He did a detour, which was, I suppose, quite kind. We sat in the pub, and I never drank a pint of Guinness so fast. I had a pint of Guinness. I thought that would make me seem like more Irish. So you won't seem like an MI5 spy. And I never downed it so fast. I gulped at it. And then I managed to get through it. It's amazing what alcohol will do to panic and fear. I mean, it's a great antidote to panic and fear. It really is. I won't say it killed all the fear, but it certainly took the edge of sheer terror. It took that away. So I did all that, but apparently I'm just a blagger. Oh, I'm a blagger. I just sat in my house. I never went out there. I was never a journalist. Oh, Christine, you were never a journalist, bitch. This is a man's world. What do you mean you did that? Nah, tell it to the hand. And other women help them. This is what these other women are doing. They're helping them do it. So I'm very angry at Fiona Whiteman, really angry. She's like, I'm a victim. No, I'm a victim. Your victimness is tiny compared to my huge. Having cancer is, I don't know whether she had cancer or not. I can't bear to read the bloody stories. I don't fucking know. But having cancer, of course. One of my very good friends died of cancer, Debbie Mitchell. Of course, that is being a victim, to have cancer. But I've certainly been kicked about in life. I hate life. I really do. I don't like it. It's a motherfucker. I don't like it. I actually sometimes think there's no escape, and that after death there'll be some kind of other ordeal you have to go through that involves being battered. I do believe in God, obviously. I do believe in the angels. I do believe in that. But this, whatever it is, when you've been battered so much by life, it really does make you, I suppose, you feel afraid all the time. And I feel afraid all the time. I feel afraid of homelessness. I feel afraid of being cold, hunger. I've gotten over, I suppose, people not believing I was a journalist, though it does. just feels like all the times, like on that time when I just shit myself and wipe myself off. And I remember saying to myself, come on, just do it, do it. Like forcing myself, because I just thought, you've got to make something yourself. You've got to make something yourself. Because I had my social worker, the one who raped me actually, but he was also kind to me sometimes. I got the sack from this job I had at British Airways because I had a youth opportunities thing at British Airways, and it was just for 6 months. And he said, I got into a warehouse. You had to go through a warehouse to go and have lunch, and there were little forklifts, and one of my friends dared me to get in the forklift and drive it. And I'm always a clown. I want to make people laugh and happy. So I climbed on this forklift. Anyway, I lost control of it and it rammed into a washing machine and damaged it. And I got called in by British Airways, and he said, I'm going to have to let you go. And I said, well, look, this is all I've got, this youth opportunity certificate, this chance to get it and then get some kind of job, because I was very much on the scrap heap after coming out of care. And even though I was bright at school, my adoptive mother, was jealous of it, so she would whip me backs of my legs. I can still feel it now, years and years later. And my social worker came in and he saved me from it. He spoke to British Airways and he said, look, this is what's gone on in Christine's life. Can you please let her have the certificate? And I think I had something like a month to go, and they gave me a chance. I was more than grateful to him. And he got in the car and he said to me, it's weird, he said, I help people, I help these kids, and then all they do is get married and go and have a family. And I think, what's the point? Why they're bothered? They never turn out to be great. They never do anything in the world. And I vowed that I would go and do something in the world. And I think that that's what pushed me. I think that's what made push me with the IRA, because I thought, here's something that nobody else wants to do. Nobody else wants to write about them. They're too scared of them. Like the serial killers, I suppose, that I can take the time and get close and I won't be scared. I can kind of, because I'm used to men like that, I can deal with them and I can be a journalist. I can make some of myself. And I did get my bylines. I did then deal with the INLA. I went to meet their commander in a safe house. I had to have a sack over my head to go to the safe house. That was all very weird because he took me home in his car afterwards and then kept going around my house. I had to leave Belfast. I just felt things were getting out of control because everybody knew where I lived and they were coming round with stories, and they were different factions, and I thought, this is weird. I thought, but looking back in retrospect, I should have manned up and I should have stayed. I didn't man up. I should have. But I was a journalist. I came back. I started work for The Sun. The Sun asked me to do illegal things. I had a baby at that time. I got pregnant, had a baby. And while back in the day, if somebody asked you to do something and you could try and find out what they wanted through doing it what I thought was legally, maybe ringing an agent or something like that. After I had my child, I thought to myself, well, is that dodgy? And you know, there'd been phone hacking and all that, and I remember thinking, geez, I don't even want to make a hooky call to anybody, which journalists did all the time. I thought, I don't even want to do that. I was terrified of everything. So I didn't even do that when I worked for the Sun. All I did was ring up and say I was from a different paper, which is what they could have done themselves. So I didn't tell them I was doing that. And they asked me to ring the Priory and shit like that. I just didn't do it. They threatened me as well. They said, if you don't do that, we'll just tell you to fuck off. I had a child, no support. I was scared, but I was more scared to break the law. My son would have gone into K, would have ended up like Mark. I was terrified of that. I developed hypochondria because I was scared. I thought if I get sick, there's nobody, and so he will be raped, basically. So the idea of me doing anything illegal, the idea of me when my son, I think it was when he was 3, is it around that time, that I would break data protection act by ringing Sienna Miller's GP. Bollocks would I. It really upsets me. That does. Not in a million years. Not in a month of Sundays. And this other accusation, I know I didn't do it, because if they'd have said, in the case of Whiteman, oh, nobody made any calls, but here you are, you've put down her name, then I would say, well, I'm guilty of pretending to them that I made a phone call. In which case you'd hold your hands up and say, well, they threatened me, so I had to pretend. I'm all for owning up to what you have to, because I'm in the winter of my life. What's the point in lying? I mean, that's why I was helping Graham Johnson. But these people turned it and they shat on me. But I had laid down an insurance policy by things I told them weren't correct. And I'd done that because I thought, I'm wary of you. And I did that with the BBC. Michael Gillard told me it was wrong to do that. And I thought, hang on, mate. I deal with things in my way. It might not be how other people will deal with them. Such as if the Sun or any other paper asked me to do something illegal, I would just pretend I've done it and go, yeah, I've done it. Because they never asked for proof, you see. They never asked for... So you could tell them any old shit. And that amused me, for someone to say, hey, dirty bitch, do something illegal for me for my story. Well, I was a journalist too, so what the fuck are you telling me for your story? Do your own dirty work on your story. I don't need to do dirty work. And then Graham Johnson says, a journalist got scumbags to do their dirty work. That's Christine Hart. I was a journalist, mate, and I really 100% do not do another journalist's dirty work. And if they push me and bully me and say, I'm going to push you out of Fleet Street, then I'll just pretend to and say, yeah, did what you asked. You're right, or you're wrong, or whatever. And I'd get a kick out of that, because I'd think, well, you little snake, hope you get sued. And actually, the Sun got sued twice because that's what I did. And then eventually they said, when we ask you to do stuff you don't want to do, in future, you need to take the calls. And I thought, well, I'm finished here with you guys because I'm not actually doing it. And they told me to fuck off. They told me to fuck off on that because I kept saying, no. They kept saying, buy a tape machine. In the end, sent me a tape machine. But obviously I couldn't tape what I wasn't doing. And that was that for me. And then why was I still working for them? Because I couldn't. They didn't want me as a journalist, even though I was really good. They didn't want me to stand up other stories. They wanted me to ring the bloody Priory. Now, in the end, actually, it was over Heather Mills that they told me to fuck off because I wouldn't disrespect her. Why should I? You know, I'm not how I'm being painted by Graham Johnson. And I just have to sit and take it. And the Sunday Mirror scumbags, because they really are. I never liked working for that. Never liked working for them. Always felt that, and I thought, why do you hate them, Christine? Yeah, I just viscerally hated them. Viscerally hated them. I know why. I'm enlightened. They're covering up phone hacking. I didn't work for them from 2001. They're covering up phone hacking, and they think they can just use me as a scapegoat. Oh, like fuck. I was I was told to get evidence on these people a long, long time ago. I got loads of tape calls with them asking me to do illegal things, all filed away nicely, not at my home address, not at my home address. And I really need them to apologise to me, or I'm just going to send them to David Sherborne. And also, there's loads of stuff that I can send to David Sherborne, and also tell him, yeah, Sunday Mirror, you really are absolutely. I'm not going to be your shit rag for phone hacking people. It's disgusting. I'm going to be your shit rag for using Lloyd from TDI to phone Fiona Whiteman's vagina doctor. What the fuck? You're not going to do that to me just because these other PIs are hacking. Oh, we've got to protect them. Yeah. Ooh. Don't want people find out that staff journalists were phone hacking. Well, didn't Graham Johnson go and give himself up from the Sunday Mirror to say he was ordered to phone hack? They were phone hacking like fuck. That's all Tina Weaver did when she got there. How would they find out where Fiona, whatever her name is, was actually going for her whatevers? Phone hacking. PIs can't do that kind of thing unless they're phone hacking. This is what they were doing. And then I bet my bottom dollar, if it wasn't Susie from TDI, it would have been some little journalist doing that. And what they do, they don't want to let their stories go outside. So they do it themselves because they think, oh, best not. I tell you this, I don't make scummy little calls to people's receptionists. It's data protection. It's doomed to fail. These 2 calls that I'm accused of making, they failed. Well, of course they failed. I've been a PI since I was 16. Doing that kind of thing, of course it fails. When I ring my bloody GP to ask for a repeat prescription, I can't have it. You've got to go in there. So how does it work if you ring up someone's reception? Oh, hello, I'm Sienna Miller's assistant. What the fuck? How would that work? And yet, there it is online that I'm, not Susie, that I'm the one who did that. That I'm the one that did that. Well, why hasn't it got that in the back of Nick Davies' book then? Did Nick Davies maybe love me to bits and not want to? Nick Davies didn't like me. So if he could stick the knife in, he would have done. I'm going to end it here. I'm just really pissed off. I felt anger all day. My whole reputation as an investigator has just been shot to shit because, and I've helped people with blackmail cases in the past. I haven't been a PI since 2009 because of all of this. And because people don't like it that you've been a journalist, you can't get work at private investigations companies because they think you're going to spy on everything they're up to and go and tell your muckers that are journalists. It doesn't work like that, but this is how that industry rock and rolls. The whole thing over that phone hacking ruined me, and I still to this day don't even know how to do it. What's just absolute cretins did that silly it's not even hacking, it's just getting someone's little bloody code. I mean, a monkey could do it, but they all thought, it's fantastic, oh, it's so clever. How is it clever? It's not clever at all. Same as ringing someone's receptionist. That's not clever. Stupidity, you see, rules the day in all this. And yet I'm getting it wiped on me from someone's arse. I know who that particular arse is. You're stupid. You're stupid. You're the king of stupid. Well, actually, I'm fucking not. I am absolutely not. I know the private investigations business right from the back of my hand. There's not one inquiry that could possibly go to any private investigators, including Kroll, that I wouldn't know how to do. And no, nobody wants to know about people's bits outside of Fleet Street. I'm talking about the industry of private investigations. I worked for ex-MI6 officers, ex-MI5 officers alongside them. I worked for ex-CID officers. I shouldn't be doing a menial job. I shouldn't be a key worker. I shouldn't be. I've worked my balls off in life. And I shouldn't be falsely accused. I shouldn't have Katie talking to me in that way. I said, can I see the evidence, please? And she went, oh, Fiona said this is you did it. Oh, all right then. So if I pick somebody I don't like and then say, I think they're paedophile, so that stands, oh no, I forgot I'm working class. I'm not moneyed up, so my voice doesn't count for shit. But if someone moneyed up, a wife, highly protected, who's the wife in Wimbledon who mowed down those two kids in Wimbledon? Their name's not even been in the newspaper. They killed two kids. If that was someone working class or someone black, their face would be all over the front page of the Sun by now. I guarantee you that's a white, upper middle class wife, or even lower middle class. They're all moneyed up these days because house prices have gone up. So we live in £1 million house, so we're upper middle class. So they're the new gods and goddesses. God forbid you cross the path. But I want to give a message to her. I wouldn't do something like that, Fiona, and I wouldn't do something like that because I would believe that God would smite me back. Yeah, I'm a Catholic. I was a nun for a while. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I'm too scared to do it. Do you understand that? I swear I did not do that. And I bloody no did as well. I literally had the BBC grill me, Guantanamo Bay style. This guy kept ringing me, withholding a number, in front of other people, again and again shouting at me about I had upset Sienna Miller by this call and it was someone else. I didn't actually, at the time, I didn't know the call had been made. So I was going, oh God, I really did. Then I find out a while later, someone slips it out to me. Inadvertently, I was talking to them about something else. I actually contacted them. I sent them a nasty email about things. It was someone, a senior person on the Sun, sent them a nasty email. To my shock, they rang me. And they started, talking about this other thing. And then they said, what a shame you got blamed for that Sienna Miller thing when it was Lloyd. It was Susie from TDI, Lloyd's company. I found the second that it was Lloyd's company out later. But it said Susie from TDI. My whole body froze. I thought that didn't happen. There wasn't a call. And he said, yeah, it was him. Everyone knows. They all felt really sorry for you taking the shit. She really ripped into you when she came out of court. And I was like, what the fuck? My whole body went cold. I have literally been through hell over that. Hell. I deserve an apology from someone. Sorry, my blood's boiling. It shouldn't be like this in this day and age. Shouldn't be like it. If you're not moneyed up, you're not married, you're fucked. My advice is to young women out there, look for a man who's earning a lot of money, okay? Marry him. If you don't do that, if any other woman decides they don't like you or decides you've tried to make it in a man's world, or men don't like you because they think, bitch, you thought you were making it in a man's world, I'm going to crush you and make sure your memory is never remembered and you will regret stepping one foot in that man's world, even less so for making me feel less than you. Come, I'm going to destroy you. which is the way they think. This is what happens. I would advise women, just be a housewife. Don't go out there. Be a housewife, okay? Be a housewife. If you're not, other women will get you. Men will get you. It's not really nice out there. It's not nice. Certainly don't play it the way I did, thinking you'll be clever. It won't work. Just won't work. Really, back then I should have said, well, guess what? I don't want to do that. Not going to do it. Kick me out of Fleet Street. But the thing is, they do kick you out. It's not, it's not a threat that means shit. Literally, I've had that said to me by editors. I worked for the News of the World for many years, and I remember Ian Edmondson, he said to me, if you don't tell me A, B, and C about something, he said, you're finished. I'll make sure nobody at this paper ever contacts you again. And I said, well, I can't tell you what he wanted me to know. And he goes, wrong answer. Bye-bye. Greg Miskew, who I was friends with even, when I was in the office, went from the office, told me, oh, Phil says you have to go. You're an ex-private investigator, and we don't really want private investigators or people that were private investigators went from the office. I said, but I'm a journalist now, and I brought John Boyle in. That was the deal. I bring in John Boyle, and you let me work here as a journalist. And he went, Phil doesn't think it's a good idea. And I was out. I remember, I walked over that bridge. I'd given them John Boyle, and it was John Boyle that brought in phone hacking. Nobody ever mentions him because he's moneyed up. See, this is the way it goes. You can plough down children in Wimbledon. You won't even get your name in the paper as long as you're moneyed up. This is the way rock and roll's in this world right now. So, talk about white privilege. It is white privilege. Actually, it is. There is such a thing as white privilege. I'm really glad I'm not black. I honestly would join Black Power movement. I would. I'd be rabid. I would lead it in minutes because I would be so passionate about it. I would take control. I would take control. I actually have a friend, James, who was with the Children of Israel. I actually was bowled over when I met him in New York. He was talking about the blue-eyed devil, and I thought, he's right. Promptly fell madly in love. But this is the way it is. This is the way it is. And because black people now, all power to them, they've got their shit together and have got themselves protected up. So now they have to watch it. So now they're pounding harder on the working class whites. They're like, oh, Jesus, we've got someone to vent on. And so they're pounding harder on working class whites. They really enjoy smashing us in the ground. They really do. I could tell that Sean Moss from the BBC when I said to him, I didn't do that, mate. And he went, nah, yes, you did. Shake can. Bye. And it was a really common little email he sent me. I thought, you're supposed to be the BBC. Gone were the days when they spoke to somebody respectfully and at least in a bit of classy English. At least you would get told to fuck off in a classy way, in a polite way. But no, it was a real little, nah, you had it, slag. I just thought, you dirty little prat. And this guy lives in Belfast. And nobody knows him in Belfast. Supposedly a journalist, nobody knows him. So, oh, right, everyone knows me over there as a journalist. But he gets to call me a name. He gets to be journalist. He gets me to call me a name. Why don't you just call me cunt, Sean? Be a man, yeah? Don't mince around about it. Have a bit of balls. Don't just call me blagger. Call me cunt. Go on, at least stand up. Stand by it. You absolute weakling. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on fighting. I'm going to absolutely carry on fighting. I am spiritually adept, and I don't have to know this J.S. Garrett, Brian Barrett, and all those guys. No, I don't have to do that. I do my own shamanism. And I actually went into meditation the other night about this, and I encountered a being, and I said, I feel very sad about what's gone on. And they whispered in my ear, keep fighting because you'll win. So I'm bearing that in mind today, and I'm putting this out there. I've marinated in anger all day, and I think it's around women. Men will be men. They will always try and fuck women over. Women that are out there, they're all right with their little wives. They secretly hate them too. That's why they go out and they see little younger ones, Claire, little younger ones, and they think, oh, you look like my girlfriend used to. When she was younger, I think I'll have you because I just disrespect you. I'm weird. So they do that. But what they really hate is women that have gone out there, women that have got the balls, women that have got the story. Women that bring you to Real IRA meetings, Graham, not the other way round. I brought you there. Oh, is that someone that sits at home all day? I worked with Mazza. Is that someone that sits... I'm not proud of that for sure. I didn't hurt anybody, for sure. But how is that sitting at home? How is my byline on Real IRA Stories sitting at home? How is me moving out to Belfast sitting at home? Yeah? For shame. For shame. And I know you've got to listen to this. Oh, I might say something about the mail. That little fight is coming up, isn't it? Let's see how that goes. Do you know I talk to Gavin Burrows every single night? Yeah, every single night we chat. He's very angry. In fact, I don't even know why he's angry. I mean, he hasn't even been through what I've been through. He's angry about his life rights still. He has now got documentation to prove that his signature was faked. My affidavit was faked. Now, where did that affidavit go? I wrote an affidavit supposedly for a book with James Hanning, 70 pages long about my life, yada yada. There was a bit faked in it to say, oh, I'd done what they asked me to do. Anything illegal, I'd done it anyway. Now, that wasn't in there. So I had to go back, take it out. Then I didn't mind signing the affidavit. I needed my car fixed. And so got the car fixed. Then it turned out it actually wasn't fixed. Sod's law, isn't that weird? And but where did that affidavit go? Where did it go? What was it used for? Fiona's trial? Yeah? Was it used for that? All of this quite mysterious. It really needs someone to flesh it out. I know that Michael Gillard is still interested in that. If anybody's going to flesh anything out and look over anything and get to the real story, it's going to be him. I bet you all are really upset someone like that exists. Someone like that exists. Someone that doesn't feel threatened around women, that can do kick-ass things, that doesn't shrink up. Oh, can't face that. Oh, no, it's making me feel as if I'm not a man. Let's call her a name. You won't reduce me, because the only eyes that matter are the eyes of God. And God sees what you've done, yeah? And God sees what you haven't done. I know for a fact I wouldn't do something like that and didn't do something like that because of God. In any case, in any of these cases, I couldn't, because it's like with Ian Brady. I get accused sometimes of people say, oh, you were in the papers all the time about Ian Brady. You got rich out of Ian Brady. Now, all the time when I was in the paper, including me in the front page, I didn't get paid for it. Or interviews on TV, I didn't get paid for it. Now, looking back, sometimes when I have therapists and I tell that, they were like, oh, you're so silly, you're so silly. But I say, hang on a minute. It's dirty money. Don't you see that? So I can ask God at the end of the day for a favour. When I got evicted last year, I could turn around to God and say, help me. And God did help me. I'm owed by God because I keep God close. I didn't buy a house out of working for the media. Why? I didn't hurt anybody. For sure, I made sure I didn't, because I'd been a victim. I know what it's like. So I made sure. Sometimes I even fucked up investigations. Certainly ones for Mazza I fucked up. Because he was racist. He was attacking Pakistani men. And so I would ring them up and tell them. Obviously, nothing involving hurting other people, but things like stealing plastic buckets. I would tell them, put the plastic buckets back. I never hurt anyone. I made sure people weren't hurt. I was a protector. But I still thought, I don't want to buy a house with money from these newspapers, apart from the mail. These newspapers, because they're evil. And it would be bad money. And so I didn't buy a house. And so now I'm in rented because of it. I always thought I would make money through novels and writing novels. I didn't. I've turned out a loser, which is hard to really take. It's really, really hard to take being a failure and a loser, but I have to look at myself in the mirror. I put it all in there, put all my energy into being a novelist, and it didn't work out. I thought I'd buy a house at the end of the day through a best-selling novel. It didn't work out. Now I'm in a position of poverty and being accused. So I have to get a menial job because I've been ruined in that respect. I don't know, but sometimes I think God wants you to be bumped around because God wants you to come to Him. At night times I play tapes, which are the Psalms, and they are all about seek me and you will find me. I'm really passionate about getting as close as I can to God. And everyone in these stories, every name I've mentioned is in the winter of their lives. So we are any moment going to we're going in that realm where you get judged. Do you go that way? Can you go higher? Or do you go over there? The dark side, join other people, the pedophiles and the rapists and the bad people. Or do you get reincarnated again? I'm very aware of that. I want to go that way. I want to go that way. I want to go that way to be with God. I'm not coming back here again. I certainly don't want to go and sit with the bad fucking people. I've been their victims all my life. I know where I want to go. I'm passionate about that. So I keep God close. And although I'm going through it and I'm scared of life, I am scared of life. I feel a lot of fear. I feel a lot of injustice over all this shit going on. And but I just call out to God and ask for God's comfort over it. God keep me strong. And I pray literally every day, every night. I'm trying to do it during the day. And that's my comfort. And it's, some people say suffering is good because it brings you closer. It's God calling you. So I don't know. I mean, Jesus, being alive is so confusing. I just wish I had it simple and I owned my own home or I had a husband and life was all about dinner parties or where are we going to go on holiday? I haven't had a holiday in about 10 years and nor has my son. We don't go out. We don't socialise. I don't have any friends. So this is my life, I try and get pleasure out of watching telly. Yeah. So anyway, I'll end it there. Thank you for listening.